Okay. Today we'll discuss the concept of exception handling in Java. Basically, what is the exception? The exception is nothing but an unwanted situation occurs which interrupts the normal flow of the program. For example, when you execute in the program, at some extent, if there is a problem occurs and because of the problem, the program continuation will not be executed. In that case, is called exception. So, an exception is nothing but an unwanted event. Event is nothing but a situation that occurs, and because of the situation, the program get be interrupted and we are unable to execute further. The scenario is called the exception. So when the exception, why the exception will occur? So generally, exception occurs when you have some problem while inputting the data, or there is the problem in the network connections, or some case if the file does not exist and you are trying to open the file and you are unable to input the data properly. So there are various reasons the case the exception will occur. What is the exception? Nothing but an unwanted event that interrupts the normal flow of the program. When an exception occurs, program will be terminated automatically. For example, I write a program in Java and you want to give some number. But unfortunately, I have given the wrong number. For example, I want to give the input as an integer value, but unexpectedly I give the input as a character value. And what will happen? The program will automatically terminate there because the data entered is the wrong data. So generally the exception will occur in the case that the invalid input entry and non-existence of a file or a network connection problem. There are so many reasons for occurrence of an exception. What are the different types of exceptions? There are basically two types. One is checked exceptions and unchecked exceptions. So what are the checked exceptions? The exception which will arise at the compile time. So when you write the program, generally there are two types of errors occurs, the compile time errors and the runtime errors. The compile time error is nothing but the error occurs while compiling the program. Runtime errors means if you are compile the program, there are no errors in the program and you are executing the program. Whenever you are executing the program, you are giving some input. Because of the giving input, if you get any error, it is called the runtime errors. So there are two types, compile time, runtimes. The checked errors or checked exceptions is always called the compile time exceptions. It means that if the method is throwing a checked exception, then it should handle the exception using the try catch block. So generally, what are the exception you want to write? The exception Java will write in the two blocks. One the try block and another the catch block. The try block in the exception handling is always contain the code on which you want to be executed. And the catch block contains the code what we have to do whenever the try block fails in execution. So means the try block contains the code which you want to be executed. And the catch block contains the code what you have to do if the problem occurs with the try block. So as you said that the exception is nothing but an unwanted situation or unwanted event occurs while executing the program. Because of the execution, because of this problem, the program may get terminated. There are basically two types of exceptions, checked exceptions and unchecked exceptions. Checked exceptions are nothing but the exceptions which will rise at the compile time. The compile time is whenever you write the program and try to find the errors in the program. During the process of finding the errors in the program, if you get errors, that is called the compile time. Once you find there are no errors and there are no warnings in the program, then you have to execute the program. When you execute the program, in some scenarios, you may require to give the input. You may require to connect to the network. You may require to do something else. So in that case, during the process, if there any errors occur, if there any problem occurs, those problems are called unchecked exceptions. So let's see an example that demonstrating the checked exceptions. So in this, we are taking one example. The class is an example class. So which contains an object. So here FIS is an object file for the class file input stream. So the file input stream is a class and FIS is an object of that class. So what is the purpose of this class is contains the methods that will help us to read and write the data. If you want to read and write the data, we can use the various methods like file input stream and file output stream. The file input stream is used to read the data and file output stream is used to write the data. So that's why here I am creating one object called FIS, that is called file input stream object, and I make it as null. Why I need to assign the null value for an object means initially no file stream contains a path, because when you create an object, we are not initialize the object. When you initialize the object, whenever you assign the path to that object, we can able to say it is initialized. That's why initially we'll take as a null. So now I am initializing the object of the file input stream with the path. So what it help is indirectly I have a drive D drive. In the D drive, I have a file myfile.txt. So what is the statement do is it will open the file. It will open the file which is exists in the specific location or specific path, and they make it available to read. Now I am using one variable k. Now here see while k equal to f is fis.read. So what is the fis here is an object of the input stream class. So k equal to f fis.read means here the read is a method which comes under the class file input stream class, and it will help us to read the data from the file. So now what I'm doing, I am reading the data from the file, and whatever I am reading, I am storing into the variable k. Is not equal to -1 means if the data does not exist. So system.out.print k. So what is the k here? A k is an integer variable which holds the data. So why I am saying the char of k? So this is the char of k, nothing but the type conversion. This is called the typecasting or type conversion. So if you want to convert an integer data type to character data type, we have to use char before the variable which is of the integer data type. Now automatically the integer value will be converted to the character value. So for example, the k value equal to 65. So automatically what is the character value of k? Nothing but capital A. Okay. So what is the statement will do is, this is an iterative statement which will help us to read the character by character from the file and displays. So up to this point, what we have done here is first I have started the class example. In the example class, I have declared the main method. In the main method, first I have defined the object for the file input stream class and make it as a null. So whenever you say the null, there is no path exists in that one object. Now I am assigning the path to that object of the file input stream. I am declared one more variable, that is integer k. Here it is used to read the data. So here While k equal to fis dot read, here fis is the object of the file input stream and read is the method in the file input stream class. So with the help of the object of the file input stream class, here I am reading the data from the file, and the data is not equal to null, means if the data does not exist till the data end, what we are doing is we are reading the data from the file. So
సార్
finally,
డిక్రిమెంట్ ఆపరేటర్ ఏం అవసరం లేదా?
Huh?
వైల్ లూప్ లో మనం డిక్రిమెంట్ గానీ ఇంక్రిమెంట్ గానీ ఆపరేటర్
అవసరం
ఏం
లేదు.
పెట్టలేదు.
So see here concept ఏంటి? While k equal to fc, what is this one statement?
We are reading the data
What is in
stored in the
FIS? What is in FIS?
file.
So it will open the file and it read one character and one value or character stored into the k variable. So how long it will store? How long it will read?
Till n not equal to -1.
It means that till the end of the file.
Okay.
Till the end of the file. Till the end of the file, it read one by one character and it will display. Okay. So see what is the difference between the print and println? Here you have to understand. The print means it will display on the same line. Println means the next line. Okay. For example, the file contains the information welcome to India. Okay. It is completely a single line. So if you want to display whatever we have seen in the file, then you have to use print. Then actually the character by character will be read, but will print side by side. If you say the print ln, what will happen?
Print in a new line.
Every character will be displayed in a new line. So it will read the first line of the first character in the file, display in the first line, second character in the file, display in the second line, and so on. So finally we are closing the object. Why we need to close the object means once you open the object, the memory will be allocated. Whatever the memory allocated, we will use the memory for during the operations. So to read the operation, I am using the memory. So once the task is completed, then automatically I have to close. Why you have to close here? Whenever you close, the memory can be utilized by some other people. Nothing but the concept of deallocation. When you close the stream, the stream can be useful for another person. For example, see here I have created the first stream FIS, am I right? And use this here FIS in the while loop. My task is completed, I have closed it. Again here immediately, if you want to open also, you can open, no problem. You can say like this file, again file input stream FIS1 equal to new file, like you can able to write. So what will happen? Whatever the FIS here closed, the object is closed. Again, we are opening the object. So what will happen? The same object is being utilized repeatedly. Am I right or not? Because here we have closed. So whatever the closed, again I am opening. So this is a concept of reusability of objects. Okay. See, when we execute this one, we get a message that unresolved compilation error. So because file not found. When the file not will found, for example, I give the path is wrong path. For example, my file is in the D drive, some Swaroop folder, but I am given the D drive myself, D drive itself. Whenever the path is invalid, then what you find, the file will not be found. Am I right? Whenever the file will not be found, automatically throw an error message those is called, that is called an exception, which is called the checked exception. Whenever the checked exception rise, whenever
Compiled.
when you compile the program, if you found the file is not available, or if the data is not connected, or if network is not working properly, in those cases, the compilation error will become. So see here, I say d:/myfile.txt, but actually my file is available in another folder called this folder. So actually I have to mention this path, but unfortunately I mentioned the D drive myself. So automatically it will throw an error that the file does not exist. So this is an unhandled exception, nothing but file not found exception. If the file not found exception is an unchecked exception or checked exception, which one?
Checked exceptions.
Which one?
Checked exceptions.
Checked exceptions. Simply say the checked exceptions are nothing but the built-in exceptions, Samma. So whatever the exceptions that
Okay.
already defined in the Java is nothing but the checked exception, like a built-in functions. Okay.
Hmm.
So see this example. Here again we are create the object and specify the path and read the data and everything. FIS close. So what is file content displayed? Because why the file content displayed? Because this time I have given the current path. Okay. So for example, if I say that this time, see, this is the actually I have to give like this one, but unfortunately I have give like this one. So ఈ విధంగా ఇచ్చే path actually అయితే path ఇలా ఇవ్వకూడదు. Path ఎలా ఇవ్వాలి? Path ఇలా ఇవ్వాలి. ఇలా చెప్పాలి. Okay.
Okay.
So this is the correct way of mentioning the path of the file. So now what is the output here? What is the output?
File content is displayed on
File
the screen.
content. This is not the output. Actually, whatever the content in the file will be displayed. That's all. Okay.
Hmm.
So now the question, if they go for the concept of unchecked exceptions, so what it contains? It contains two blocks, try block and the catch block. What is the try block? It contains set of statements where an exception can occur. So it means if you execute which statements, if you execute which block of statements, the exception can possible for occur. That is called the try block. The catch block means a catch blocks is where you can handle the exceptions. So what exactly the try block contains? The try block contains the code for which there is a possibility for exceptions, where the catch block contains the code that explain how to resolve the exceptions. So see this one. Here I've used the input stream, FIS equal to null, the file path name. I say, for example, the D drive. Here the file name is the Swaroop folder. Okay. Now see, what is the try block here? What I'm doing in the try block? What this statement will do?
It throws error if we give
Huh?
wrong.
What is
Create an object. It stores the data.
It stores the path of the file.
File.
It stores the path of the file in the object. Okay. Now see, if the file does not exist in this path, see, the file does not exist in the path. See, in the catch block, I am writing my code. So file not found exception. So what is this one? FNFE. This is an object for this class.
Okay.
Here the file not found exception is a class and FNFE is the object. So in the catch block, I am displaying the message that specific file is not present in the given path. So when you see the previous program, what I did here, I didn't mention, see, I given the path, I directly given the path without using the try block, without using the catch block, automatically it considered as a checked exception and it find the path and the file is not found, then display a message that the file does not occurs. If you write the same code, see the same file opening path in the try block, now it checks the first try block. If the file is existed, then it will not go for the catch block. Whenever the try block is succeeded, there is no need to go for the catch blocks. So if the try block fails, then the catch block fails. So what is the catch block here? We are getting a message the specified file does not exist in the path. When you get this error, if you give the wrong path, you will get this message. Now see, in the same int k try block. So again, I'm trying here. See, what is my try block here? I'm using the while condition and displaying f in close. Again the catch block. See, again the catch blocks. So here the IO exception IOE. So input output error. When this exception rises,
When we give wrong in
huh?
wrong data.
Whenever you are unable to read this file content, if the file have the content, it will read and display. If you are unable to read the file content, it will display input output error. So see this in this program, we have used two try catch blocks, or one try catch block for the purpose of opening the file and check whether file is opened successfully or not. The second try catch block is for read the data. If the data is successfully read, we'll get the output. Otherwise, we'll get a message that input output error. So what do you understand here? So there is a possibility of having more than one try catch blocks in the same class. See, in the same class, example, I have two try catch blocks. One try catch block for file operation and second try catch block for the
input
read
output.
The first case, it will check the file path. The file path is existed, it will open the file. If the file does not existed, it will fire the catch blocks and display a message file not found. In the second case, once the file is available, then it will read the data from the file. The data is available and you are able to read the data will be displayed as the output. If you are unable to read the data, you will get a message that input output error. So this is about the concept of try catch block. This code will run fine and will display the file content. So now come to the point of unchecked exceptions. So unchecked exceptions are checked at compiled, sorry, not at the runtime. So the mistake is the runtime. It means if your program is throwing an unchecked exception, and even if you don't know handle to declare the exception, the program won't give the compilation error. See an example here, class example. I have given the values here, num1, num2. So I am using here int res equal to result equal to num1 by num2. System.out.println. So what is the output here? Result equal to num1 by num2. Num1 equal to 10, num2 equal to 0. 10 by 0 means it will not
Exactly.
acceptable because you cannot divide a number with 0. So it is
Mm.
called arithmetic exception. It is called an arithmetic exception. See, okay. In the same way, see one more example here. I am creating an array of integer values. And see
Mm.
here, this array contains total 5 elements. The elements are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But here I am asking to display element in the index number 7. So actually, how many elements are there?
5.
So what is the index number start from here?
0.
So now what is the last index number?
4.
But I am trying to display 7, which we can call as array index out of
Out of
complex
one.
section. So means you have given the array size as 5, but you are trying to access an element which is at the location 7, but actually the specific location is not available. So this is the direct exception. Okay. So see the second case, if you write the exception in your own, see what I'm doing here, first I am trying try block. So what is the try block? First try block, I have created an array and try to display the array. So when you execute these two statements under the try block, it will fire an error because the try blocks fails. So whenever the
Mm.
try block fails to identify the location, automatically catch block will take the responsibility. Now what is the catch block? The specific index does not exist.
Not exist.
So what is the advantage of using try catch block is nothing but we can define exception on our own fashion. And if you want to present it in a different way, generally the system will give some exceptions. But if you want to create your own exception, for example, when you try to give an input for the salary, I can give an exception. Whenever the input gives the salary, that exception writes that what is the exception here I will give? If the salary given is greater than, less than or equal to 0. In the try block, I will mention that the salary less than or
Mm.
equal to 0. Then automatically the catch blocks will fire and give a message that please enter the value more than 0. So when these cases will be applicable, whenever you input some data for the system or when you want to display the data from the system. For example, you want to display the details of the employees whose salary is more than 50,000. But actually, whenever see the database table, it doesn't have any records whose salary is greater than 50,000. Then what you have to do? How do you know? The computer will not show anything to you. That's why you have to write the try catch block statement blocks to check the try block. Write that, read the data and check whether salary greater than or equal to 5,000 or 50,000 or not. If not, then fire the catch block. The catch block, I will display that there are no employees who's getting more than 50,000 salary. So whenever you execute anything, logic, you must contain either true or false. If you say only the true, there is no use. If the false, we can't get any information. That's why the try block basically used to identify the error,
Runtime.
and the catch block is to provide the resolution for the errors. So whenever the event fires here, see, whenever the event fires in the try because of the try block, automatically catch block will take the responsibility. If you just use the try block and if you don't use the catch block, there is no use.
Mm.
Try block and catch block are always together to implement the concept of exception handling. So exception handling is nothing but a mechanism that how to prevent the errors or events occur during the compile time or runtime of a
Runtime.
So see this one more example here. Here again, num1, num2, two variable. The try block, I am saying num1 equal to 0, num2 equal to 0, num62. I'm asking to display the num2. Hey, I am at the end of my try block now. See. So what is the output of this one? See, 62 by num1. 62 by num1 means
An exception, we'll get an arithmetic exception.
guys. So whenever you this case here, whenever this case automatically, whenever the program execute is up to this point of, see, once the point execution reaches this point, automatically control stop the execution and will throw to the catch block. So what is the catch block? We should not divide a
Not
number by.
divide a number by 0.
So see here, when you see this one, what we can understand, there is a possibility of having more than one catch block, right here. So means a try block can have more than one catch block. So if the arithmetic exception not arises, for example, here I given the number 10. Is there any possibility of arithmetic exception now?
No.
No. So now, when it will go to the execution of, then it will display the number 2 and the output will be successfully implemented. So what is the next exception here? See, exception occurred. Exception occurred. So different areas. So likewise, we can able to give the multiple exceptions, multiple catch blocks. So it means, for example, if this, for simply say, like if else if. So if the condition fails, what you have to do? Next condition fail, next. So means there is a possibility of having more than one exceptions in try block. There is a possibility that, see, for example, as we said, the 0. This is one exception. And there is a possibility, if you write one more code here, there is a possibility of having another exception. So in the means the try block, the same try block, there is a possibility of having more than one exception. In that case, if the first exception not working fine, then go to the second exception.
Second exception.
Like that, we can able to check the multiple exceptions also. So that means that a try block may contains more than one catch blocks. A try block can contains more than one catch blocks. And moreover, try blocks can be nested. Nested and arithmetic.
Try within and try block.
A try block
Function.
inside another try block.
And the try block.
Inside another try block. Okay. Now see this one more example here. In the try block, I have created an array with size 7. See, I have given the array 4 value as 30 by 0. And array 7 value is 50. Now see here, I will get to display that first print statement is in try block. Okay. Now my question, what is the output of this one?
At the arithmetic exception warning.
Arithmetic expression, very good. Next case,
Array index out of bound expression.
because A of 7, there is no possibility of A7. Only A6 is the last number, am I right? So automatically, see, in this case, 2 exceptions will be erased and 2 catch blocks will fail simultaneously. So output here is an arithmetic expression out of try catch block. So see here, so this is the outside the try catch block. This statement must should be executed. Okay. So this is called the nested. Nested means, see, the try block and the try block, another try block. So likewise, there is a possibility of creating n number of try blocks here. But you should remember that whenever you execute the program, first the inner try block will be executed.
Okay.
Only the outer try block will be executed. As like a nested queries, like a nested queries in SQL or nested classes. We have to go for the first inner one. Inner one will be executed, then the outer one, and so on.
Mm.
So here, as per this one, what is the concept here? We have created an array of 4 elements and display side trying to display the index number 10. Is it possible?
No.
No.
Mm.
Automatically, the catch blocks will fire. That's the
But
end of the.
here, sir, can ఇక్కడ అథమెటిక్ ఎక్సెప్షన్ అని పెట్టి
Huh?
ప్యాచ్ బ్లాక్ లో అథమెటిక్ ఎక్సెప్షన్ అని పెట్టారు కదా.
Oh, ఇది actually mistake. It actually should be the array out of bound expression. Sorry. See, not like this, ma. See,
Mm.
if this page, see, if this page, it will go to the next block. Hello.
Mm. Yes.
If this catch block fails, okay,
Okay.
it will go to the next level try block. So what is the next level try block catch exception here?
అథమెటిక్.
Again, next level. Arithmetic. Next level.
Array index out of bound.
So it means anyway there is a possibility of firing the exception. Okay.
Mm.
So in this case we have multiple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Likewise, you can able to create n number of exceptions.
Okay.
So this is the concept of next try blocks. I will come again. What is an exception? An exception is an unwanted event. So unwanted events means, for example, when you execute the program, when you compile the program, there is a possibility of having the errors, which will stop the execution of the program and terminates. So those type of errors we can call as the exceptions. And the process of handling the exception is called the exception handling. The exception handling is a mechanism that how to control the problems or events occurs when you compile or executing a program.
Mm.
Generally, the exception will occur when you open the files or when you close the files. In the case of network connections, when you give the bad input and everything. What are different types of exceptions are? Checked exceptions or unchecked exceptions. Checked exceptions are exception compile time exceptions, and unchecked exceptions are runtime exceptions. So if you want to work with the checked exceptions, first is a normal program without any exceptions. So we can able to, if you don't specify the try catch block, automatically what will happen is it will directly execute the checked exceptions. If you create the try catch block, it will use the unchecked exceptions. Basically, unchecked exceptions are used to create user-defined exceptions.
Mm.
Controlling the user-defined exceptions. So this program is simple program which will create an object and we open the file and read the content and display. If the file is at the particular location, it will display content. Otherwise, we'll throw the error that the file not found. The same case we can able to write with the concept of exception handling. Writing the exception handling point of view, first we have to write